Poetic soliloquy. I just want to speak my mind. As if that were possible.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Savage Talk with your host, Savage Soliloquy. We are right back in action. But first off, I want to start off this. We got some pretty sad news today. Local promoter, local music industry legend. You know what I'm saying? He's actually bro has actually related. We actually related through different people. We were just so connected in so many ways. Rozay, man. A lot of people might know him from Captivate, the potato bar downtown in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, bro was putting a lot of work in there, man. It's some real sad news for the local, music scene. Cause if anybody knows the Cleveland local music scene, we need all the help we can get. First off, the political powers that be have been blocking, stuff from being seen and heard. There's just so much going on, man. And Rob was, you know what I'm saying, he was doing a lot right in the heart of downtown. Bro put some work in. So I remember back from the kind of like the Cleveland State days, seeing Rob kind of coming up. No, another funny thing, another funny tidbit is that a lot of people don't know, but a lot of the promoters and managers and people in the local scene, a lot of them work with each other. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them work with each other. A lot of us work for the sports teams, and that's how I kind of kept in contact with a lot of local music folks. And it's sort of how I would always see Rob, Tim time is money. Or a lot of us work in the same places. Not to put their business out there, but we out here grinding and bringing entertainment to people. I know I've been injured, so I really haven't been out in the streets physically right now, but I'm still trying to do something. And Rob was definitely motivation to me getting back going, because bro been putting some work in. And I know when you in entertainment and you trying to, when you trying to help a lot of people will drain you dry, man. People will drain you dry. I've had, just from trying to help people, I went through depression, like deep depression, to where I don't want to talk to nobody. Cutting my phone off. I'm having them thoughts. Is everything worth it? Them type of thoughts, like the thoughts we all get, man. When you serving people, when you serving people, a lot of people they don't appreciate what a lot of people do. I don't think a lot of people appreciated what Rob Rozay did. I think a lot of people did, and we see in the outpouring right now since his passing. But I don't think that we don't appreciate the people who serve us. Now I'm not talking about no politicians and all that, because they serve us for their own good. Hopefully we got some change after this election, but I don't rely on any voting for change. It hasn't changed anything for us yet, as far as big change. But I do think people took advantage of Rob Rozay. I think people didn't support what they should have had, and even myself, I know with myself it was kind of hard, because I was putting together stuff myself. That's why sometimes it's hard to get together with other promoters and managers, because you're all always so busy. But we can't let that be the reason. Cleveland got to stand up, man. Sure, we don't come together, the industry gonna die here. I'm gonna just play y'all a little video of Rob, man. Rest up, Rob.
Happy Mother's Day to all you black beautiful queens, princesses, all that good stuff. Y'all enjoy your day. Be blessed. Much love. It's your boy Rozay. Shout out to all the ladies who celebrating today. Y'all enjoy it. Be blessed.
Yeah, man. Lost a good one, man. I'm not gonna put too much details out, you know what I'm saying, about what's going on with him. That's for his family to really put out. But this is like, I do feel like what's happened is kind of public. It's public now, so you know what I'm saying, we might as well kind of discuss it. But like bruh took his own life, you know what I'm saying? Man. And that's why I say, like, us not reaching out to people who serve, you know what I'm saying? Like, generally, just keep this a general thought in your mind. Everybody who serves people is suffering right now because people ain't shit. Like, honestly, like, I don't want to sound Debbie Down or whatever, but if you work with people, or you learn, like, people ain't shit. Like, people will use you till you deplete it, if you let them. So you got to kind of protect yourself and protect your surroundings when, dealing with people, especially in the entertainment field, because everybody out to get on, you know what I'm saying? And everybody who's smiling in your face ain't there to help you, you know what I'm saying? Some people just trying to use you as a stepping stool to get where they need to be, and a lot of times, like, being a servant of people, sometimes you don't pay attention to your own pain. Like, you know what I'm saying, when people pass, you know what I'm saying, when you're going through relationship type stuff, or just anything that humans go through that's like brings out extreme emotion. Like, it's just, man, yeah, it's just a messed up one, y'all. Like, it's always messed up because we've lost a couple Cleveland legends recently. Mansfield Frazier, you know what I'm saying, the homie Millie Grant. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's we gotta give our roses while we here, man. I'm not gonna stick on this too much because, like, today's episode is about the chief of police. We're gonna have a whole another episode dedicated to Rob Rozay's impact and some things about the local music industry, and you know what I'm saying, mental health. We can dig in, but the whole purpose of today's episode was Chief Calvin Williams has resigned from the Cleveland Police Department. So the chief of police has resigned. Um, this is after 7 years, a 7-year career as the chief of police. I believe he started in 1985 as a police officer, worked his way up through the ranks, became chief during a very crazy time in Cleveland, Ohio. We basically was close to a race war here, a war with the police. Like, people, it was getting violent. It was about to get violent, and the temperature got real bad here. And they kind of like, I won't play his legacy like that, but they kind of threw a black police chief at us to calm us down because there was a lot of police beatings, shootings, killings in the city of Cleveland during that time. So Frank Jackson, they basically like, hey, we need to calm these people down. So we need to fire the white chief. Well, not firing. We need to promote the white chief and bring a black chief in. A lot of police officers did not like that. There was a lot of controversy when he became chief. A lot of hate mail. A lot of they actually started cutting off comments in a lot of news places because they were doing dude so dirty. They were doing Chief Calvin Williams so dirty. as far as disrespecting him because he was a black chief. You know, he got the niggers, all of that stuff. But yeah, they attacked him instantly. From him being attacked, a lot of people in the community clung to him because they felt he should feel what we were going through because it's kind of the hate that he received when he became chief. And at first, it seemed like he did have our backs a little bit. You know, let me break it down because this is a personal story for me. This ain't just me hearsay. This is something I lived through. Me and Chief Williams, we were actually supposed to be starting a program together that he reneged on after a couple things happened in the city. But during the time, I was doing a lot of organization around the city, and not just the organization part. I was using a lot of my pull that I had in certain organizations and with certain people to help, like, you know, help organize these protests. You know, go to these underground meetings we were having. I even created some underground meetings at they weren't so much underground. That's probably where we messed up. But at one point, I had created weekly meetings at Cleveland State University, which they sent so many people in there to shut that down so quick because we were actually progressing. We were progressing fairly fast, and they shut us down even faster. But during this time, me and Chief Williams, we were kind of having back and forth through various different situations. First off, you know, my brother Deshaun, he was shot by the police. He was shot 2 times in his chest by an aggressive police officer. You know, so this kind of basically started my war, my battle with the Cleveland Police Department. And during the same time, Tanisha Anderson was murdered by the police, and right after we had Tamir Rice get murdered by the police. It's all the same. It's all basically like the same neighborhoods. There's a little string of neighborhoods where all these neighborhoods connect with. Like all the people in these neighborhoods pretty much know each other. Like Kudale, probably like one of the furthest ones that happened. You know what I'm saying? But was the most popular. You know what I'm saying, with Tamir Rice. But there was a lot of killings. There was other killings. There was a security guard got killed by a cop or something like that at the time, and I mean there was a lot going on. People getting beat and just like everything. So this started my battle back and forth. But when the Tamir Rice thing hit Cleveland kind of blew up into the national picture, and you know we organized the protest, and we went out there. We shut down the freeway. We shut down Walmart. We shut down many different streets. We were on a constant battle with like people in the city that were just like they didn't understand. Like I won't down them, but at the time, a lot of people in the city didn't understand the historic significance of what was going on. So people were just being ignorant. Like people were tweeting about how, you know what I'm saying, we full of shit and how we were being violent. There was no violence at all, none at all, zero. We were actually singing peace songs, holding hands, and you know what I'm saying, hugging each other and laughing until like the police came, got the hitting us with the horses and all that stuff. But yeah, everything was peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I understand people can get mad about the freeway getting blocked, but it comes to a point where like when it's dealing with people's lives, it's like you got to have that shock factor to where it's like, hey, bro, like we got to get out of our normal everyday lives. If we stick in our normal everyday lives, this gonna continue to happen, and that's what people were tired of. So we did our protest and we went strong, man. Like we shut down Tower City, we shut down Public Square, and the whole time, like the police, they were following us and they were in front of us and they were like antagonizing us. You know, the whole time, like Chief Williams, he on the news talking about like, no, I'm just gonna make sure you guys are safe. I just want to make sure you guys are safe. I just want to make sure you guys are safe. But like, the whole time, like his police officers are antagonizing the protesters the whole time. Oh man, I could go into many stories. Like I'm gonna hold them off because we can have a whole nother episode on my run-ins with, you know what I'm saying, the Cleveland Police Department and, you know, protests and freedom fighting. But this particular one, this was like the first big protest in Cleveland dealing with Tamir Rice. You know, it was a bunch of our grassroots organizations. We were meeting in churches and all this, and we just went out and and it was big. It was many organizations. Like it wasn't no one head of that just like, okay, let's do this. No, it was many organizations involved in that. It just so happened that, you know, I was blessed enough to be in like a leading position at that time. So like it wasn't like I was special or anything. Like I probably was. Like I ain't gonna down myself like that, but you know, I ain't gonna be arrogant either. But like I know life just kind of blessed me to be in that position, you know, at the time, and I had enough power in the community to like help a lot and bring a lot of people on board. And I had a lot of my people going against me. Man, like I was getting so mad at my people, like bad, like the true colors was coming out of a lot of people. And I mean, I'm talking about hood boys, like I mean, pure thugs, criminals in the middle of the streets. Talk about, man, the police ain't that bad. Like, man, didn't they just beat your ass a couple weeks ago? Like, what the hell is you talking about? Like, get your ass out of here, man. You just a big dummy. Like, man, I had so many freaking messed up conversations. But back to the story. We shutting down Cleveland. We shutting down Cleveland. We get to Walmart. There was a group that went ahead of us. They kind of went a little bit of ahead of us. So, you know, we were coming in like leading to bring the rest of the big group in. But it was already some people in Walmart, and it was starting to spread all over the news. They were kind of like screaming in Walmart, but you know, they quickly, like the police quickly came in there and they started leaving. But then the manager, he blocked the door, so he wasn't letting the people out. He wasn't letting the protesters out. First they were trying to kick the protesters out, but then they locked the door and wouldn't let the protesters out. So now they inside going, they getting rowdy and rowdy. Like they like, let us the fuck out. Like, let us out. Like y'all want this to end, let us out. And at this time, we coming up to the front door. We on the outside in the front door, and they're on the inside, like trying to get out. So we like, what the hell is going on? So we start kind of getting rowdy, like, hey, let them out. Like, let them hell out. You know what I'm saying? So at this time, while we walking up, like I tell you, the Chief Williams, he's following us the whole time. Like they're making sure he's personally escorting us. He's basically in the protest with us. Like he's walking with us whole time, like, man, I'm gonna keep y'all safe. I'm gonna keep y'all safe. Whether that was his intention or not, you know what I'm saying? Like it eventually turned sour, you know what I'm saying? Like it eventually turned where he was like, fuck all that. Like y'all motherfuckers can get whatever y'all gonna get. Like, but at this time he was still kind of fresh. He was, I believe he still was like more on his human side than the police chief side, to where I think he was really trying to get somewhere with people, but they went at it the complete wrong way, because he went at it the police officer way, which is the aggressive way, which was the wrong way to go. So, and I know y'all probably like Chief Williams aggressive. He seems so calm, bro. He's a police officer. He's a trained to kill. He's a police officer. But it was just a microaggression. I ain't gonna say like he was just rah. It was a microaggression that he did that caused things to kind of go left. And you know, me being the talkative person I am, I kind of had to pull it back. Like I wound up talking to the chief, and we wound up pulling it back to conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, but as they finally open the door, the protesters, they coming out, and Chief Williams grabs one of them on the arm. And when he grabs him on the arm, it's like, dude, get the hell up off me. So it's like, now it gets rowdy. At this point, it's probably about probably about 100 people surrounding the chief. like honestly, it's like, and people turning up like, no justice, no peace, no justice, no peace. You know what I'm saying? At this point, it ain't no talking. It's Jameer Wright's brother. You know what I'm saying? Like we pretty much was like almost side by side the whole march. Like I ain't gonna lie. When I was marching, I didn't even know it was Jameer Wright's brother, Tavon. I didn't know it was his brother. Like I just knew like this brother got passion. So I'm like, I'm feeding off his energy. So I'm like, I was feeding off his energy the whole time, and like, you know, it get to a confrontation. So now it's Tavon, Tamir's brother, and the chief of police. They kind of going face to face, kind of going back and forth. So but it was kind of at a point where we wasn't getting nowhere. And you know, it basically got to the point where it's like, fuck you, big motherfuckers, like all this. It was at that point to where like, okay, somebody about to swing or something about to fucked up about to happen and shit. And you know, I'm shit. If it go down, it go down. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just so happened to look back while we were doing that. And when I look back, I swear on everything, I'm like, it's like 100 people around me just screaming, like, and you know, I'm on the front line, so I'm like, I'm right next to the chief. It's like me, the chief, and Tamir Wright's brother right there, and we just surrounded by all these people. And it's just getting rowdy. It's rowdy. And I don't know what the chief, the chief, he chose the right thing, but like he just so happened to turn around and he started talking to me. He like, bruh, I did not mean no aggression with that. Like, you seen that. He like, you know, I didn't mean no aggression with it. And that started our dialogue. At first, it was a little hard to do because people, like, it was still no justice, no peace. Everybody was still screaming, still, you know what I'm saying, extremely emotional, which they should have been, which they should be. Like it's a lot of people trying to talk to him. Like at this point, it's a lot of people trying to talk to him and get his ear. He's like, no, I'm talking to this young man right here, talking about me. So we start talking. I got my camera out, everything. But I'm like, at this point, which this was the biggest mistake I made. I cut my camera off and put it to the side so we can have a conversation, which I should have kept recording because all of the news stations basically cut my part out. They cut me out and just like, let's keep talking about the story. We're gonna go back to that. So now we're having a conversation, and he basically asked me what can we do to solve this issue? You know what I'm saying? Basically put me on the spotlight. Like, bro, what can we do to end police brutality and the people turning up against the police? This is basically what he put on my chest. Not knowing I'm already prepared, bro. I've been studying this for years and years and years. So without a hesitation, without even thinking about it twice, I got to breaking it down. Like, bro, we just feel like we need to be protected by our police instead of fearing our police. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to be walking around with that fear of death and police brutality and the corruption and all that. And he counters with, which is a weak counter. Like, the news used it as the main part of their stories, his counter, but it's the weakest counter on the fucking planet. Like, and they cut my counter to that out because they knew I tore his ass up. But yeah, he tells me, he like, bro, there's only been like 2 police shootings in the last year. What about all the black on black crime, all the people in the neighborhoods that's killing each other? And I ain't gonna lie, my soul, and I felt the ancestors just saying, what the hell? Like, is this coming out of a black man's mouth? But he literally sat there and said, like, okay, what about the black on black crime? Comparing it to police brutality. Which, if it was a comparison, which would be a legit comparison. But there is no comparison to one subject killing and another subject of killing. These are 2 different cases. So you don't, like, and we the only people they do like that. Black people are the only people they do like that. People don't go to the Jews like, oh, the Holocaust? Nigga, what about this? Like, you didn't suffer anything. What about this? They did suffer. They didn't suffer as much as the slaves, but they suffered. It ain't no comparison thing. Like this is, and he used that. He said he tried to compare police killings to neighborhood crime. So I countered. Been waiting for it. Was already trained for it. Everything. So I countered. I tell him, like, okay, but those people aren't hired to protect us. So where's the comparison? The people in the neighborhood aren't hired to protect us. That isn't their main job. They aren't armed by our tax dollars and the government to protect us. They don't have no obligation to protect us, to not kill us. Who has an obligation not to kill you? Nobody. Their only obligation is to their freedom. That's reality. And the reality is within all communities. People kill their own people. Most murders are people you know. They're a lover, a brother, sister, mother, father. That's most murders in the world. Of course, you can say that black people kill more black people than but the thing is, no. White on white crime. If you consider like the government white or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Where's the comparison in that crime? What about military deaths? Is that a comparison? People we've killed in wars and all that? Death tolls? Do we got to compare death tolls now to get somewhere? Man, what he was saying was just like, it was leaving me lost, man. Like, cause I'm like, dang, this is the dude that's running this department, and it's like he's black, but it's like his cultural sense of his cultural history and reality just wasn't there, man. So we kind of went back and forth for a little bit, and we didn't agree. We didn't agree, even though the news said we did agree. Like, if you look up our news story, Chief Calvin Williams at Walmart surrounded by protesters. You're gonna see my picture up there, of course. Some of them, but they took most of them. They took the pictures and video down because they don't want to show you that shit. We was on all the news channels. I think only one news channel showed me talking. Like all the rest pretty much cut me out and made it look like Chief Williams was schooling me or something. But he definitely wasn't. So I knew we weren't getting anywhere. So in front of everybody, in front of all the news channels, this is why they took the story down. In front of all the news channels, we made a promise to create a committee with citizens. The stuff they talk about now. This was way before any of that. This was me and Chief Williams. We sat there and we agreed to create a committee to address police brutality. You know what happened after that? They put me on the news. They had us shaking hands, you know what I'm saying? Which to me, that's a deal. We shook hands. We about to create this committee. Man, I called this dude like every day, man. This dude ignored me and like ran away from me for so long, bro. Even in future protests, like I would call him out on the streets and he would just avoid me, man. Like, and it's like, bruh, like you sat here and promised the community a committee. And you use my face and they use my handshake, like, let's create this committee. And these motherfuckers hid from me. Bro, I had Cleveland State had my back. I had the dean, bro. I had the dean of Cleveland State. I had the head of Black Studies. I had multiple department heads ready for these town hall discussions for us to move forward with. Chief of police never showed up. Never sent any representative. Like, we just sat there and we started our own stuff. We not gonna stop because they start. And once we started, what did they do? What did some of the local powers do? They start sending spies in on us, undercover police, to sabotage our organizations. They start sending feds to people's doors to intimidate them. Like I still got all the texts and all that. Like my people call me like, bruh, the feds outside my door, bruh, and they won't leave. Like, people don't understand what went down. That's why I say, like, he failed, man. And how much I would like to say I would like him as a person. Dude failed bad, man. Mayor Jackson failed bad. And that's why I'm kind of glad he gone. And the reason he's gone really is because Mayor Jackson is gone. That's the real reason why he's gone, because Justin Bibb was not about to keep him. And speaking of Justin Bibb, I guess this is our positive note to end off on. Hopefully we got change coming. You know, I don't put my hope in any politicians, so I'm not putting my hope in Justin Bibb either. But hopefully the brother has enough accountability that he does what's right. Historically, I probably can count on my hand Ohio politicians that have done right by us. Yeah, it's all bad. Yeah, sorry, on my phone ringing over on the other side of the room. Like, anybody who contacted me, they probably see me on here. Don't be calling me while I'm on live. Yeah, man. Justin Bibb, I hope you do better, man. I hope you. And you know, they got the new commission to look over the police, even though we kind of so-called had one. That, you know, they never put anything in, and like we never got any funding, and it's just secretive, and all of a sudden it's just like not here. Like, the committee we was supposed to create, Chief Williams, he reneged on it. He publicly said there's no systematic problem with the police. As a black man, organization that was originally called the Slave Patrol. That's not me just talking. That is history. The police department is the Slave Patrol. They just once slavery ended, they had to change their names. So, man, let me grab this because somebody about to be cussed out. Okay, I can't cuss them out because it's my wife, but she know if I ain't answering, I'm on live. I'm about to call her back before I get cussed out, y'all. But she know if I ain't answering, I'm on live. It's that happy wife, happy life. So I got to get off of here, y'all, before she call me again. With that, I got to say what up. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you tuned in late, should just replay, man. We talked about some good stuff here, man. And definitely rest in peace, Rob Rozay. Man, check on your loved ones, man. We never know what we're going through mentally, especially as leaders, man. Like, I can tell you personally, as a leader, we go through hell, man. And usually, as a leader, you're usually by yourself. Like, usually, like 99% of the times, you're by yourself. You're on your own, because you know you got to kind of keep pushing to keep things going. And I don't think people understand that. People who are not leaders, they can't understand it. So it's like, you don't have to understand somebody to support somebody and to check on them to make sure that they doing well. Sometimes even that hug, you know what I'm saying, it might not help, but it just might help. So hug somebody, love on somebody, and I'll get back with you. With that, I gotta say what up. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah. Yep, there go my wife. I'm about to get cussed out.